Many people will have noticed that Meghan Markle has been, well, uncharacteristically quiet regarding the support of her husband. That's what she calls him, never, of course, the official title or, Prince Harry or the Duke. Just refers to him as her husband, has anything derogatory in public. Of course, he has to be rather gushing and literally tripping over himself to tell the world what a wonderful mother, wife, entrepreneur, everything that she is. But you see, with this latest debacle, the charity sort of, collapse, you would have thought she might have rushed to her husband's side. Well, according to a very well-placed source, this is the true reason why not. As ever, let me explain. Morning, good to see you, chums. Thank you so much for your time today. And as ever, welcome one and all brand new subscribers. It never really comes as a shock to me with Meghan Markle because, as I've often said, it doesn't really suit Meghan to support anybody other than Meghan. And when you meet people like that, and I've said this, I know many times, but celebrities, their focus is just them. And, some people might say this is really good, in fact, because they become laser focused on what they want and the success. Of course, when it goes wrong, everybody has to rally around them and, support them. I know it's dreadful and all that. But of course, when it happens to somebody else, they're too busy focusing on themselves to do the same thing. As we know, with Prince Harry, he's had a bit of a rough time recently, to say the least, because at the start of the year, this particular lady, Dr. Sophie Chanduka, came out and basically said, well, he was a misogynist and there was bullying and all sorts of misdemeanors going on to a charity that Harry claimed was at the very centre of his heart, even though she claimed he'd lost interest ever since he got married and hadn't really been involved. It didn't sit well, did it, to say the least? I mean, really, it just doesn't look good. And this is something that you've built your foundations upon. But she wasn't backing down. Now the charity has literally slashed their costs. And over here in London, now they've just got one staff member. Everybody else has been moved on, and there's going to be other sort of staff cuts around the world. As I said to you before, this is the sad thing about when people fall out and the sort of skullduggery goes on behind the scenes. And then we had Harry threatening to set up his own charity, which proved to be, to use one of their phrases, catastrophic, right? Because he's now trying to do this at a time when people are really struggling with money, they don't have money available, and what you have to have is a very successful, clean slate if you want to try and push charitable endeavours. You get the picture. But where is Meghan in all of this? Well, this is where this gets interesting because, as you know, she's taking direction from her new team. I mean, I say taking direction, but listening a little bit and thinking, well, I might do that or I might not do that, as the case may be. Moving forward, though, this is the reason I've been told from a source working inside that particular project, is the fact that Meghan doesn't want to get involved in this. She doesn't see that it's her problem. This is Harry's issue. Cast your mind back, right? This is the issue. The issue was that Harry had to push to get his wife defended when Meghan and a chum turned up without invites, basically, allegedly, and pushed their way in, not just to the official thing itself, but turning this into a Prince Harry Netflix production for Polo, right? And on top of all of that, then forcing the husband to try and make that particular lady basically come out and say something she didn't want to do. She didn't want to be part of the circus, as she pointed out. Now again, where this gets interesting is you see how Meghan's fudged this. This is not my argument, this is not my fault, not my problem. And according to the source, that's the reason why she's now staying out of it. She doesn't want to muddy the waters. The next version of events that they're trying to spill out into the media is the fact that they believe, according to this well-placed source, that Harry will eventually be invited back to rescue said charity from the shambles that it's now, some say, becoming. Now, I don't know about you, but this is now a tarnished brand, a tarnished name, and I think it would take a lot to persuade people to come back on board, particularly to invest. And let's not forget, of course, when we first found out that both the ex-royals only actually do 1 hour a week of charity work. So the investment would have to be what? Just to get some kind of return. You get the picture. So consequently, where we're at is Meghan's busy pushing jams and wine and whatever else she wants to do, way too busy to support the person that she calls a handsome fox. Meanwhile, Harry's world crumbling all around him. Pretty much norm, don't you think? As ever, it's a developing story. When I know more, you'll know more. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.